Second. Roll call, please.
Neil,
Abstain.
Joe,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Kathy. Yes. Mary Jane. Here.
I need a motion to approve the warrants and payroll time sheets, please.
So moved.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mary Jane. Yes. Kathy. Yes. Bill,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Neil.
Yes. Need a motion to approve the transfer of the police revenue from the general fund to the police fund. So moved. Second. Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Mary Jane. Yes. Bill, Kathy. Yes.
Approve the police fund monthly operating fund transfer.
So moved.
Second. Roll call, please.
Kathy. Yes. Bill,
Yes.
Mary Jane. Yes. Ralph,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Neil.
Yes. Need a motion to approve the interest transfer, please.
So moved.
Second. Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Kathy. Yes. Mary Jane. Yes. Bill.
Committee reports, safety.
Yeah,
Officer Hart, go ahead, please.
for the New Bear Speed Heat, we received 11 calls for service. We took 15 reports. Traffic division, we issued 10 citations, 13 warnings, and we found 2 vehicles. Also, for the burglaries that occurred in March on Bob Box and Soco Restaurant, we believe those are now solved. The suspects are just awaiting charges.
Good job. All right, good job. Thank you, sir.
You gonna bring up about, you gonna bring up about the stop sign over? Yeah. You were bringing it up, you were talking about it.
You want to bring it up under safety, you want to bring it up under, street?
Do that. It's a safety issue.
Okay. I'd like to ask council to propose a three-way stop at Cherry and Lincoln Street because of the increase in the speeds on that street. And the people there on East Cherry Street are complaining to me about the high-speed traffic coming down through there. They're asking help to do something, and we put police cruisers out there. We've done all kinds of things, and I'll bring them before council to ask them to consider putting a three-way stop sign there. And what, did we get from the chief any type of averages of the speed when we had that radar set up there? Does that record? I didn't know if that thing recorded incidents or not. It didn't. He didn't say to me what an average was. He just said there were some over, some under. And it varies according to what he reads it out as, as far as the numbers. And depending on the times it's been checked. He said something to me the other day that he was going to put the Impala up there with that speed monitor in it to see if that would help, but he's been too busy doing other things to get it up there, so.
I know you have to put it in several different places around the community. It does seem to help some, but there again,
There is a real ongoing problem up there, and I realize the officers can't be there all the time. And that's the only other solution that I know of that might help without somebody being there monitoring it all the time. And naturally, with cruisers sitting there, people's going to slow down the minute they see them. But you can't leave it there all the time.
The only thing I see is going up the hill in the winter time. I don't know how that.
Do you think you have to accelerate harder to go up the hill in the winter?
No, but it may be.
Depends on what you're driving.
Yeah.
Are you talking
I'm
about
not
a light?
against that. I'm
You
just
say a light or a
throwing
solid?
this-
Like the three-way stop that's out here
It's not on
on
a super steep
Walnut
grade.
and Westler Road,
Well,
because
It's
that
not a real steep grade there, is it? I mean, it is up farther up the hill, but
Yeah.
what he's talking about is a pretty steep grade.
No, it
There's
starts
some
inclining
extra,
right in
and
that
it gets
area.
worse
Yeah,
as you go up.
I don't
I
know.
don't think the incline's any steeper than Holly Mills.
Okay, which there's the same problem over there
Right,
too.
right, we have an issue
Same
there.
problem.
Yeah,
And that's
I think it is
got
a
curb
little
on it.
bit more of an incline, but
Yeah.
I know it's a big problem too. Is it most of the speed going up the hill?
Coming
Is it
in-
like that?
coming into the village is
Okay.
is the major
I don't see
problem.
anything wrong
Yeah.
with putting this, I don't
If
know,
you're bad,
that
when
may
you're going down
confuse
the hill,
people and
it's
cause
actually-
accidents.
It confused
If
people.
you just
confused
put
people-
two up, I
It
mean,
confused people when we put it out there for West. You
yeah.
know, but after it was up for a while, everybody's used to it. It's like anything else.
I don't have anything against it other than in the winter time, it might be a problem getting up the hill. I don't know. And try it, I guess. You always take it down with, But I know they
Has
were-
anybody got any other suggestions?
Do we have?
Out of control.
We can just do
No.
it on our own, or do we gotta go through Department of Transportation?
no, this is in the village, it's not a state highway, just a
If we
street.
do end up deciding that, I mean, maybe we can get one of those kind with some, because I know it's a concern before with people not being there, maybe an accident, maybe some of those LED lights. I think you can buy them now with some LED lights.
They have put up flags for so long anyway, you know, just like they did out there.
Don't get people's attention until they get used to it.
Ralph, did you pass the survey to all your neighbors, or did they sign that survey?
Only my mouth, I have not got a piece of paper, but I can get a piece of paper signed by the neighborhood if this is what the council requires.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
You
the
know,
thoughts.
and how many
anyway.
signatures do you want? All of them? You're gonna do this by percentage of numbers of people that want it or don't want it, or what do you?
I don't know. It would be nice to know how many would like to have it.
And the signatures would be from Spring Street East, Lincoln
No.
Street East, just the ones that's gonna be
Oh,
involved that would have to
I
deal
think
with the
you would
stop
want
on
Spring
Lincoln.
Street East, don't you? I mean, that would involve, because they would be coming on a short block and making a stop there, coming up
Well,
Spring.
from Lincoln
from Spring.
to Spring, those people there wouldn't be affected by it at all unless they were going out of town.
Well,
And
that's kind
what-
of.
You know, if they were
That's what I
residents
was
there, you know,
thinking
yeah,
about,
yeah.
if
right,
they're heading
right, right.
up out of town.
Any further thoughts on this?
I suggest it was just the people in the neighborhood. That would be the most effective.
There again, are we talking from Spring to village limits east, or are we talking about from Lincoln to?
I would go from Spring Street to the end of town. At least.
Okay, Ralph, if you would like to give your neighbors and that's the neighbors, or you're telling us the neighbors are the ones that's very concerned about.
They're the
low
ones that are
traffic
calling
there.
me and approaching me on the street
So
and asking
if
me
we
for something to
could,
be
you know,
done.
we could get a majority there, and then I would say that then we'll go ahead and act on it. We'll have to put the flags up if the majority would like to see that. We have to put the flags up there.
Definitely notify the schools.
I think the school ought to have some conversation in this. I think maybe that's already, does the bus stop there at the corner anyway, or
It
not?
stops
Not.
and makes a left turn. If it's going westbound on Cherry Street, it makes a left turn into Lincoln Street to pick up right there at that corner, which is also.
But they turn before they pick up, right?
Yes, they turn before they pick up, in the same way coming back east on Cherry when they do the other,
Right.
the reverse of the procedure, they turn and stop.
I
So
would-
they are off of Cherry Street when they load and unload.
Yeah.
They're on Lincoln
I
Street.
think it would be pertinent to ask, who is it, John?
John Touchlaw.
John Touchlaw, his feelings on the matter, simply from the fact of possible slick roads on that hill coming down with the bus and from that direction. No different than the car, I understand that, but still, we're talking about the school bus. I would at least give them the courtesy of asking their opinion on it in that survey also. And if there's a majority on that, then we'll act on it next month.
Okay. Move it.
90 days, I thought.
The procedure for
Like
that
the
would be the same we did.
Did we do that the last time?
Yeah, I think it's like 60, 90 days.
And we'll take enough time
Let
to
to do that, and then after that.
Yeah, you don't write any tickets, you give warnings and time.
Right.
People are used to it.
Yeah, Ralph, if you would,
Okay.
bring it next month, and if the neighborhood so chooses, then we'll act on that. Susan, how are you?
Hey, well, I'm glad I made it here during the detour, and I didn't know it.
Yeah,
So I decided to make
Well-
I decided to make my own.
If it makes you feel any better, they haven't told us anything about it.
I come down here, it's like, oh, so I made my own detour. It took me a little longer to get here than I thought,
People
but I'm
asked
here.
me yesterday, I said, you know, they haven't notified us about anything. I'm assuming it's about the little bridge out here that they're working on, but no, they haven't notified us
The
about it.
sign here says 1 mile.
This is
and
Little Bridge.
At 722, it said 5 miles, so I turned on Eldorado Whitewater.
I don't know that they actually started yet, have they?
They were supposed to,
Did
but
they start
they,
today? I don't know.
I don't know, I haven't been out there.
They didn't notify us either, that's the state.
Really?
That's, you know, the state will tell you now, they just
Yeah,
didn't
they
do
do
it.
their own thing. Good evening, sorry I'm late. Couple different things. One, I think we're about done with Shady Lane there at the bottom.
It is
I know
done.
I looked at it the other day, it looks
It's
really
finished.
nice, and I think I've got most of the invoices from Jima, and I think I need a couple canceled checks yet. But other than that, we're good, and then we can get all that sent in and closed out. You should have received the information from the Ohio Public Works Commission on West Cherry Street. I don't know if you've received it yet. I received a letter.
I believe I signed it, did I not the other day?
You signed that today, yes.
All right, so that's kind of in the works, and so we'll get that going so that we can have it bid out by the end of the year, and then it'll be constructed next year. And then the other thing I have for you, the sidewalk on East Main Street, Darrell has looked at that, and he will be replacing it.
His buddy's already worked on
You already
it.
did? Okay,
Busting it up today.
okay, well, I thought he was supposed to be back.
Did it too? Did it go in?
Okay, all right.
The only thing is, it just stormed on it.
Oh, gosh, that's not, oh,
Well, you know, we had the discussion over this morning, I said, guys, you know, it's supposed to rain this afternoon, right? He said, well, we'll let the boss make that call. So apparently the boss made that call. So
Yeah, apparently.
that's what happens.
Well, you have a 1-year warranty on
Yeah.
it, so, you know, if
Okay.
something would happen, heaven forbid, we're good there for, you know, a year, so, you know, let's hope it all works out. The next thing I have for you is the East Cherry Street project that we talked about at the last meeting and submitting it to Ohio Public Works Commission this year to go into the pipeline. And if you remember, it's a 3-year pipeline, so this would be in consideration for 2017 funding. And this goes from the water plant to Spring Street. That is kind of the worst part of it, based on what I've been able to see, and just the crown's worse there than what it is from Spring on. It's approximately 1,005 feet from the water plant to Spring, and 965 feet from Spring to Washington. So it kind of seemed like a good place to break it up, so it'd be, you know, the same, about the same distance both ways. Basically, this involves a replacement of the curb and the sidewalk, and then some full depth replacement in areas as needed. It's not a full reconstruction from one end to the other. It would be basically just full depth reconstruction repair in places that we needed, specifically where the trench is. And then we would go in and mill off 3 inches. And in the past, we've done 1.5 inches, but it would be 3 inches. We put 1.5 inches of intermediate, which is a little thicker stone, to give you a little better base material, and then 1.5 inches of surface course, which is the way that this is designed. There would also, I have some allowances in here for some storm sewer. That's something we can look at and try to determine what we could do down there. If we could get some storm sewer down to Spring Street, whether or not we could move it on down towards the creek. So that's something that's yet to be determined, that we'll kind of work on over the next 2 years. If you have some drainage in your project, you get a better score than if you don't. So that's another reason why we want to try to do some drainage, even if it's just a minimal type thing. Obviously, we need some kind of outlet to make it work. With that being the case, I have for you kind of a breakdown of the cost. If we do the normal 26%, which is kind of where we've tried to be in the past, and that's not to say that we have to be there, but that's kind of where you are, where it's the most competitive. What I cost of the project, the bottom's how you're paying for it. So it'd be $80,600 and 46%, and then we would ask for $229,400 in grant money. Now, if you don't want to do 26, the next level would be 16 and 11. So at 11, you get 3 points, at 16, you get 5, at 26, you get 7 points, and then you have to go clear to 50 to get 10. So it's really not worth doing more than 26. I mean, that's really where you want to top out. We can do less. The other thing is, if you commit to 26 this year or 11 this year, we can change it next year, and we can change it the year after that, because until you actually put it in for consideration for 2017, which would be submittal in 16, that's not a set in stone number. So if you want to go that way to see how it scores, and then we can always back it off depending on who else is in there, you know, we can change that. You're not, I just think you're not tied to whatever decision you would make this season on that percentage. You're not tied to it on a permanent basis. You can change that. So, you know, if it's something where you say, I don't know if we can spend that much, let's just do 11. You know, and then we'll figure it out between now and then. That's fine. You know, it's really whatever you guys think you can handle. The other thing that you have attached to that is the resolution that needs to be passed. That basically just gives Rick, as the mayor, the authorization to sign and submit the application, and then to also sign any agreements, like the agreement that he signed today for West Cherry Street. It would give him the authority to sign that if and when that agreement would come. And then it also has an emergency clause in it, because the applications are due to the county on the 25th of this month. So I can be talking about that. So, I don't know what other questions you might have about that.
Any discussion with council, have a problem with the 26% match for the time being? Like you say, you can always change it later on.
No, it's a long study line.
All right. Anything else in it?
No, I think that's all. I have copies of all the things that you'll need to sign.
Okay.
You don't have to do them this evening. You can come back and pick them up another day, or if you want to go ahead and do them, that's fine
Can we
too.
get the resolution out of the way and what we got?
Okay, there's the resolution, there's the extra copy.
Let me read it.
You want to?
What will this be? This be resolution what?
It's 2014-19. 2014-19.
There should be some extra copies there.
Yeah, there's Passable then. Everybody has a copy.
Well, everybody should have copies.
Okay. Resolution number 2014-19. A resolution authorizing the mayor to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required in declaring an emergency. Whereas the State Capital Improvement Program and the local transportation improvement program both provide financial assistance to political subdivisions for capital improvements to public infrastructure, and whereas the Village of New Paris is planning to make capital improvements to East Cherry Street, and whereas the infrastructure improvement area above described is considered to be a priority need for the community as a qualified project under the Ohio Public Works Commission program. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of New Paris, Trumbull County, Ohio, as follows. Section 1, the mayor is hereby authorized to apply to the Ohio Public Works Commission for the funds to make improvements to East Cherry Street. Section 2, the mayor is authorized to enter into any agreements as may be necessary to appropriate for obtaining this financial assistance. Section 3, this resolution is hereby declared an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of the Village of New Paris. And as there is a time limitation for the application of such financial assistance, and this resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage and approval by the mayor.
Need a motion to accept resolution 2014-19.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Neil?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Kathy? Yes.
to accept resolution 2014-9 as emergency. We'll go and forgive the three reading.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Neil?
Yes.
What's the date? So,
Okay.
Susan? Yes. The concrete work at the end of Shea Lane, was that leftover funds after the sidewalk was put in?
Yes, it was.
Oh, maybe
Matter of
that's
fact-
what it was.
Matter of fact, that came under cheaper than what it was originally.
I would think it's wonderful, but it got done. I mean, as far as it washes right down there.
It
you know.
didn't need it done for 50 years.
Yeah, it probably has.
It's the best thing we ever did, tell you the truth.
I just didn't know that. I assumed when I saw how much that cost. that it probably
Yeah, it looks really nice,
Yeah.
doesn't it? I looked at it.
It's nice driving over, it's
Yeah,
nice.
you did a nice job getting that all put together.
Yes, you
That's
did.
wonderful. So you did a good job. I like it. Looks like a big improvement to Shades Lane back there.
Absolutely.
With this project.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's all I have unless anybody else has anything else for me.
Nope. Keep your eyes out for some grant money for the school down in the village.
Okay.
So, if you find something out there for us to take it down, that would be great.
Okay, that's what you're looking for, the demo.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. Not a problem. There's some demo programs kind of that float around from time to time, so I will see what I can find.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, you're very welcome. If you don't care, I'm going to.
That's fine, absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks.
See you, Susan.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Susan.
You're welcome.
What do we have, still on the street?
We haven't got to it yet.
Okay.
We're on the building.
I'll just refer to more about the poll for the electrician.
We have not, I have not made contact with that person yet, so.
I know Chris is pretty busy right
And
now.
I usually swallow myself, I just haven't been able a chance to call, but we voted for it, we'll get that done, and take care of this one. I can't remember the guy's name, I'll have to call.
Right.
Sharon Schroeder, get that guy's name again, because I forget his name.
Where we at with that contract anyway with the DP&L and stuff? Is that-
Apparently, a VPL Energy contract, I believe it's going to expire at the end of this year because I've been receiving phone calls from other aggregates wanting to know if they can come to the council the latter part of the year to talk to us about rates. I can't remember the name of the call I got the other day was from Outfit, and I said we'll probably not have discussion until probably around October. I'm assuming that Sharon Schroeder will be back in contact with us. I would think sometime in September to start the ball rolling if they're going to work with us again on the electric.
The street lights and so forth.
Yeah, so, but I do believe it's this year that expires, or, I don't think we'd be getting to the 3-year thing.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
But I don't think they'd be calling us if it wasn't, they track it better than we track it, I'm sure it's all in there, so I would say that there'll be other phone calls between now and then as to possibilities out there. I'm hoping and assuming that DPL Energy will continue to talk to us again, but to really tell, I have not had any contact with anybody from them yet. So, streets,
Wells, we've already said the sidewalks are done, they look nice. Shady Lane's done. It's great, it came under about half of what the original cost was. By the way we did saved us a bunch of money. Did a good job on it. The orange dump truck went down, and we had to put brakes, put everything on the front end, had to put motors, calipers, hoses, everything. That ran about $1,400. And we split that cost between BPA and village. That, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. When it goes down, it goes down. We don't have much choice but to fix it. I know the tire on it, we got a flat tire on it today. Bud Reed's, I believe Bud Reed's pulled the wheel off because he didn't know what to do with it. You know, we knew around here fixes them anymore. Where do you go other than Reed's Fork alignment? And I think Bud Reed's did pull the wheel off of it, and he was going from there. I haven't heard more after that. So,
So I need a motion to split the cost of, what was
it
the
was
number?
I don't, the exact, it was 1,400 some odd change. Do you have the,
I don't have it
Jane?
here now.
okay.
I'm still waiting on Jeff to fill out his portion of the purchase order for you to sign.
So if we make it for
Not to exceed.
not to exceed
1,500.
800, 750 in the council park, we okay? Probably.
Yes, I believe that's what the
750 and 750 is 1,500, so.
We can do that anyway, under what we normally do for the, allow for the month for each,
Well, actually, it'd be $50 over $700.
okay, yeah.
So to cover your butt, you better do this as a motion.
Sounds like an idea.
So we need a motion on the floor to split the service to the orange dump truck with the BPA not to exceed at $1,500, our half being $750. Is there a motion?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
Anything else on streets?
Joe?
Lights?
Don't have anything I'm aware of.
Finance? Kathy, anything? Joe?
We met and did the,
We could do the budget, the pseudo budget, the one they have to have that matches your expected revenues,
All right.
and that's been done.
I think we'll get into that here
I
in a
think
little
we
bit.
will during the ordinance, so yes, that's, we will do that.
All right.
I got something I want to bring up, and I don't know whether this would be under the finance or what, but I know there's been a lot of discussion about classifications, and I don't know if everybody knows. I've ever seen our book, we talked about making classifications for everyone. We've had them for years, we just haven't gone by them. But, well, they've exceeded their limits anyway as far as pay scale. So would that be up to the finance committee to look at this and talk about resetting the pay scale? Do we want to stay along with this, or what?
You said we've already exceeded it, so we can't stay along with it.
No, but I'm saying it needs to be updated.
Update.
So that's what I'm talking about, you know?
Yeah, we need to update it.
But do we update every time somebody gets a raise? If we
Yeah.
go over,
That's changed over the
or
years.
should it be
You gotta
frozen?
remember, when this came in 2001, the pay scale was
Yeah.
about $5.
Generally,
You know what I mean? I mean, look,
Generally, the way that works is those usually aren't updated until the position becomes vacant, and then you update it at that time for your new position. I mean, just because that pay scale says one thing, that was at the time of employment, that job description, that's the way they do it originally. But it wouldn't hurt to update them, but
I wouldn't think so. I think it's something that we definitely need to look at.
We'll have finance committee take a look at that and then bring it back to council. Anything else under finance?
didn't have anything.
Sanitation, Mary Jane?
No.
Planning, I don't think we have anything that I'm aware of. There was gonna say we've had some contact with the realtor about some property here in town that they want some zoning clarification on, and we told them that they needed to submit to Billy and get a design as to what they want to use the property for. And they would not elaborate on what their intentions was, so we just told them that they'd have to send us a detailed plan to do it, set up a meeting and go over it, so that's all I know that's in the works. Possibly in the works on planning. BPA is not here. One thing under BPA I would like to throw out there, which BPA was here. BPA sets the rates on the water, and council is in control of the sewer rates. According to Jeff, we are spiraling downward rapidly on the sewer rates and on our sewer fund. And his projection is by 2016 of being broke in the sewer side of it. We've had some discussion with the BPA that we think there is a change needed. Just asking council to think about this. We'll wait and see what BPA wants to do with it, but I'm just informing council that if BPA doesn't want to act on it, council does have the right to do so. Just throwing that out there for your information.
Do you know what the current rate is? Sewer rate per
I know the last time, and I don't know the exact number, the last time they raised the water, but they lowered the sewer. And I don't know quite why.
Well, I thought, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I don't know why, I don't recall the conversation, I just know what happened. They raised the
They've done
sewer.
that twice. They
And
they
they
didn't want to
lowered the
raise the
sewer.
water.
So now they're taking from this fund to this fund and this fund to that fund. And I think we got to get it back on an even keel and head it in. The water is fine, the rates of the water is fine, according to Jeff. It's going like this. Let me see if I have the chart.
I knew we was going to run into that when they
Well,
switched twice. They did it
I
twice.
know they did.
They didn't want to raise the water.
Because they didn't want to raise the rate. They didn't
Yeah.
drop it twice. They did drop it
Yeah,
twice.
they did. Speed more, and then they done it, what, last year?
I was on the BPA at the time the Latin was done,
Uh-huh.
and I was the only one on the BPA that wanted an increase on both sides of the
Yeah.
fence.
Because
And
we're
I
going to
was-
be right back in the
And
shape
I
we
was
were back in the
outvoted by,
90s.
I was outvoted by the other two members of BPA to split it and take away from one and give to the
Yeah.
other.
And that was the wrong thing. And I voted to go along with it, and I knew it was wrong.
Well, the main problem with that is if you have an emergency,
Right.
you don't have anything, there's nowhere to go.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wanted a dollar
That's
increase
what
over the board on
happened.
both sides, and I got voted down.
That's the reason they was in the mess back in the 90s, when the EPA was on us to get all this new water plant and everything.
Well, that may be why they went with just water too, because of that expensive bill.
I don't know, but if you raise it just a little bit at a time, it's not, but the way it is now, they're gonna have a larger increase to get back where they were before.
There are a lot of municipalities that are putting automatic increases for that. So
Right.
that 50 years down the road, the
Just a
money
little
will be
bit at
there.
a time is better than hitting
But
everybody
just
at one
to
time.
have the money on hand to do the improvements needed 10, 20, 30 years down the road. Instead of trying to come to the
And if
people
they
all
don't
at
do
once.
it,
you
And
know.
say we need
Right.
$5 million.
If we don't get back on track, then we're going to be back in the shape we were back in the 90s.
Back when they, in 6/4/12, for this 2012-05, raised the water minimum $1 while reducing the sewer minimum 50 cents.
Now, that's just the minimum rate, right? They didn't do anything with the per thousand or anything like that.
Just minimum.
That was the minimum rate.
And according to Jeff, and I asked Jeff to run this for me, that's the only one I have, guys, so this is the water. The water's climbing. The light green is the sewer. It's going down as, almost as quickly as the water's going up. So there is an imminent problem if there is not action before long. Just throwing it out there for council to be thinking about. Hopefully BPA is going to do something, but something is going to have to be done before long. So council would be thinking about that, and if anybody might copy this, it's in my box, and if you want to copy it off. So just throwing it out there, food for thought, guys.
Well, I don't know whether we can discuss the BPA's policy here at the council, but I'll ask you a question and you can tell me whether you can answer it or not. At one time, they were taking money from the sewer department for equipment repairs and things like that, because at one time there were more money in that fund of the sewer part of that bill than the water part of the bill. Is that still a policy that they use today, or can you answer that? And that may be why the sewer's going down.
There are certain expenses we pay from certain funds, like some from water, some from sewer. Like Joe and Kathy and I discussed when we did the budget for 2015, we swapped salaries for Brian and Jeff back. It was a couple years ago, I think, that they were switched this way. Jeff's being paid out of sewer, Brian's being paid out of water. It's going to be switched back for 2015, so that's one way. I know we're paying for like mowing the grass. We were paying that out of sewer, we're now paying that out of water.
So that
So
could be
there are-
depleting some of the sewer.
Yeah, there were some of those things, but not
So
much.
we've done some internal self-correction.
Yes, yes. We've made some changes internally that they've, and then also the last meeting, they approved, when we had Brian from Gassy change the penalties, instead of going from from the water side, it's going on the sewer side. That should, depending on people pay on time, it'll bring us in maybe $1,400 a
In the
month.
sewer side.
Yes, but this is just a short-term resolution here. It's not a long-term fix.
Now, let me clarify, I am not suggesting that BPA is not looking at this and
I'm
not
sure.
going to do
I
anything
know.
about it.
Yeah.
I am simply suggesting to council that we have an issue that is going to become a great concern to us. I am just letting council know what is going on, and there is some discussion, and that council does have the right to set the sewer. I am not suggesting in any shape or form that BPA is not on top of what they're supposed to be doing. I'm
Well, I feel like they're
just,
like.
just give you information there. All right. I'm going to go ahead. I have a letter here from Preble County Soil and Water Conservation District talking about being aware of several weed problems that's becoming widespread in the state, and they would like someone to attend a meeting at Preble County Engineer's Office to come up to date with what they're going to do about these weeds. What's this word? Noxious?
Noxious.
Noxious weeds, yes. Thank you. Would anyone like to attend that meeting? It's July 17th at 7 o'clock at the engineer's office. It's on a Thursday.
If I can, I'll go.
Okay, thank you, because I cannot.
If I can, who wants to?
If you cannot, let me know and I'll try.
Okay.
Right now, Thursday's a terrible
Oh,
day.
where was it at?
It's at the engineer's office.
Okay.
It's 7 o'clock. And this letter comes from Keith Smith, board chairman. So, it's RSVP to Samantha. I'll leave this with Jim.
Okay.
So, if we could have someone attend that, please. If you cannot, let me know. I'll try
Okay.
to make arrangements. Okay, now on the resolutions. Before we well, we'll do this one first. Okay, the first one is just something that you have to do to update your budget that you've already submitted, correct?
Yes.
Resolution number 2014-15, a resolution adopting the tax budget of the Village of New Paris, Ohio for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2015, and submitting the same to the Preble County Auditor, whereas the village fiscal officer had prepared a tentative tax budget for the Village of New Paris, Ohio for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2015, showing detailed estimates of all balances that will be available at the beginning of the year 2015 for the purpose of such year, and of all revenues to be received for such year, including all general and special tax, fees, costs, percentages, and penalties, allowances, and prerequisites, I love to say that word, and all other types of classes of revenue, also estimated of all expenditures or charges and or for the purpose of such fiscal year to be paid or met from said revenues or balances, and otherwise conforming with the requirement of law. Now there it be resolved by the Council of the Village of New Paris, Ohio. 1, that the tax budget of the Village of New Paris, Ohio for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2015 is hereby adopted. 2, that copies of the tax budgets are available for public inspection during regular business hours in the office of the fiscal officer. 3, that the fiscal officer is hereby authorized and directed to certify a copy of the tax budget and a copy of this resolution to the Preble County Auditor on or before July 20th, 2014. 4, that this resolution shall be in full force and effective at the earliest period allowed by law. And this is just something that we have to do for the auditor, so I would need a motion to accept.
I make a motion, we accept resolution 2014-14, a request for amended 2014 certificate of estimated resources.
That's
Second.
not, wait a minute, is that what we read, or did we read the tax
I
budget?
thought you read the tax budget.
Oh, 15?
Yeah.
We read 15.
I make a motion, sorry about that, I make a motion that we approve resolution 2014-15 tax budget.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Mary Kay.
Yes.
Would also be a motion to go the 3 reading rule and pass this as an emergency, please.
I move this be passed as an emergency and do away with the first reading.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Neil,
Yes.
Joe.
Yes.
All right, and this is the resolution, 2014-14. Village of New Paris, request for amendment, 2014 certification of estimated resources. And this is another thing that we have to do for the auditors. Get a motion to.
I move that we approve resolution 2014-14, the amended certificate of estimated resources.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
Bill.
We'll also need a motion to go to the 3 reading rule and pass this as an emergency, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
There's 2 of them.
Yes, I see that. All right, we have another resolution number 2014-18, Village of New Paris, request for amendment 2014 certification of estimated resources. This is for income tax and police fund, street fund, same thing, it's just for the auditor.
I move we approve resolution 2014-18, request for amended 2014 certificate of estimated resources.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Mary.
Yes.
We need a motion to forego the three reading rule, pass this emergency, please.
So,
Second.
Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Joe,
yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Bill, Kathy.
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
Okay, we have resolutions on the next, the two small levies. We'll open the table for discussion before we read this. See what everybody wants to do on these. One of them is the tax levy. It's coming up for renewal. And it is. This one is for 5 years, and it's a $3,000 levy. And the other one is for 5 years and a $4,000 levy. This is, I think last time we had this, it was, one of them was 3, one of them was 7, so apparently it went down.
Do as they go, we keep growing.
Yeah. So, does council wish to move forward with this, putting it on the ballot, or what does council choose to do with this?
We have no idea what it costs us to put that on the ballot.
You know,
Never knew till they sent you a bill.
I don't think we ever know until they tell
Depends
us.
on how many items are on there.
But
Yeah.
because of the general election, I would say that it's a lot less than what it is. It has to be put on as a special. Discussion. Anyone?
My opinion that to do a few of these little projects that we have been wanting to do, but can't quite get everything together to get accomplished, and taking on the extra burden of the school property and trying to get it in shape and maintained, I think we need these, at least until we get some of those one-time expenses out of the way.
Anyone else?
I agree with Kathy.
I do also.
Joe?
I'd sure like to do away with
I would
one,
too.
but it makes sense what they said.
Comment, Bill? I agree also. Bill?
Yeah, but I would love to see them do away with them. I think they're getting to the point that they're,
Well, I would like to.
No, I'm not finished.
You know,
Just
no,
hold
I
on.
would too.
You
I
know,
really would.
but also I agree with you. I mean, we got a one-time deal here, we need a few little things that need to be taken care of, then I think we can propose the next
In
one
5 years, I
and
think
be
it's
done with them.
it'd be a good.
Because they
time
won't be
to
bringing
get-
anything in anyway.
No, they
They'll be
won't.
done. They'll be
No.
done. And that would just save the people more money anyway.
Well, hopefully, we won't have to come back to the village citizens for any more of the tax levies as well. We're going one of the next 5 years with the income tax. We're hoping that we don't have to present this to them again. As of this year so far, we've taken in $112,000 in the income tax. So,
But that just replaces the 86 that we lost.
there again, well, we didn't lose all 86, but we lost 35. We lost $37,000 of that, so yeah. So yes, so we're a little bit above water, and thanks to the citizens of those last levy, $33,000, we didn't have to replace that one. So I think if this continues in the upward direction it is going, I don't see at this time that when these levies come due again, that we're going to have to come back to the citizens and ask them for a renewal of these again, or I hope not anyway. But I would say that we should not have to at this point, according to these numbers. So, all right, if that's council wishes, we will proceed with resolutions.
Don't you need a motion for those?
Yes.
I make a motion that we get the resolutions 2014, 16, and 14, 17 on the renewal, on the ballot for renewal,
Second.
Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Yeah.
Bill,
You
go ahead and
read this title only?
We'll go ahead and read this and maybe that's all.
Got just a little.
Yeah, let's go on that just a little bit.
Can't do it by title only. That's what we just did, right, by title only?
We kind of did it out of order there. So let's,
Will you withdraw your motion?
yes.
oh, okay, I rescind the motion that was made to put the tax levies for renewal on the ballot in November.
Is there a second on that?
Yeah.
We're rescinding that one and we're going to start over, Mr. Carlotti.
Sorry.
You can rescind mine too.
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Bill, Kathy,
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
Now read.
Okay, resolution 2014-16, resolution declaring it necessary to levy a tax in exceed of the 10 mil limitations. The council of the Village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio, met in regular session the 7th day of July 2014 at the village council meeting with the following members present. And we'll list all of it, and all council is present. Council moves the adoption of the following resolution, whereas the amount of taxes which may be raised within the 10 mil limitation will be insufficient to provide an adequate amount of necessary requirements and of said Village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio, therefore be it resolved by the council of the Village of New Paris, Ohio, Preble County, 2/3 of all members elected, therefore to concur that it is necessary to levy a tax in excess of the 10 mil limitations for the benefit of the New Paris Village for the purpose of current expense pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 5705.10A at a rate not to exceed .70 mils for each of $1 evaluation, which amounts to 7 cents for each $100 evaluation for 5 years. This is a renewal levy commencing in 2015, first due in 2016. Resolved that the questions of the levy additional taxes may be submitted to the electors of said Village of New Paris at the general election to be held at their usual voting places within said Village of New Paris on the 4th day of November 2014. And be it further resolved that said levy will be placed upon the tax list of current year after February settlement next succeeding election. The majority of electors vote thereof, vote in favor thereof, and be it further resolved that the clerk of this Village of New Paris be, and here is hereby directed, be certified a copy of this resolution to the Board of Elections, Preble County, Ohio, 90 days prior to election, which it will be voted and notified said Board of Elections to case to cause notice of election on question of levying said tax to be given as required by law. Now I need a motion to accept.
Why don't you do read them both, so we can accept them both.
All right, do that. You can do that one. I'm tongue-tied now.
Resolution 2014-17, resolution declaring it necessary to levy a tax in excess of the 10 mil limitation. The council of the Village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio, met in regular session on the 7th day of July, Village Council meeting room with the following members present, all members present. We move to the adoption of the following resolution, whereas the amount of taxes which may be raised within the 10 mil limitation will be insufficient to provide an adequate amount of necessary funds. As said, Village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio, therefore be resolved by the council of the Village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio, 2/3 of all members elected to declaring that it is necessary to levy a tax in excess of the 10 mil limitation on for the benefit of New Paris Village. for the purpose of current expense pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code Section 5705.19A, at the rate not exceeding $1 mills for each $1 of valuation, which amounts to 10 cents for each $100 of valuation for 5 years. The result of the question of levy additional tax to be submitted to the electors of said village of New Paris at the general election to be held at the usual voting place of the village of New Paris.
Now, we need a motion to accept, we need a motion to accept resolution 2014-16 and 2014-17, please.
Do you want to separate this easy for you to record?
You want one at a time?
I think we're gonna have to, because everybody's
All right.
gonna have to write down yes or no on the second page.
All right, we need a motion to accept resolution 2014-16.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
I need a motion to declare emergency and forego the 3 reading rule.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Yes.
Joe, Ralph,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Thank you. I need a motion to accept resolution 2014-17.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
I need a motion to declare emergency and forgive the 3 reading rule.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Bill, Ralph,
Yes.
Joe.
Yes.
Neil.
Did you look at this one? Because there was an estimate on this, it's not in here. Be right back, folks.
It's just cold in here.
My hands are freezing.
It'd be cold, it's July.
It's been cold about every night over the weekend.
Summer's
In
over.
Madison, wasn't
Right,
it?
after July 4th, summer's over, that's it. You're starting to go the other way, man.
Yeah, I know.
Football season starts here shortly.
We're back in the fall.
I think it's already started out.
That's okay. I like the cool. It's a
Um,
lot better than those.
Friday night, we went to New Madison to the fire meeting, and we got froze to death. I had sweatshirts and blankets and everything.
It did a lot nice, that's for sure. It was a good thing. But not, you know.
But they have a nice school up there now. The grounds at the school's really
Very
nice.
nice.
Have 2 different playgrounds. It's a good thing out there. Horn was good too.
The one-
Oh, I get 3 firework places over the weekend. It's what happens when you got little kids.
Yes. My grandson's man, he was just chewing up the bit to get out there.
The Historical
I tell them
got a
every
nice
time.
thing going.
I take them with me every time we go to town on Saturday, I always take them with me out and we go out to eat and do things. I always look at them, why is it every time I bring you boys to town, you cost me money? I said, well, that's your job, Apple. Still okay.
Sorry, folks, for the delay here, but there was a price sheet in this package, and it's not in here. This is about the tornado siren. And what, we have to make a decision tonight as to what we're gonna do about this early warning siren, or whether we're gonna move forward or whether or not. Dave is running out of time to submit this to the state. And Chris has given me this, and the appraisal is in here, but I can't find it. Anyway, it was, just a little over $20,000. I apologize, I don't know what happened to it, it's in my box. And this was from PR Communications. They do this type of thing, and they give us a bid. What it was a bid to install the siren and to upgrade the one we have now to work on a signal from the sheriff's office. And off the top of my head, I think it was $22,000 for that. And that did not cover the cost of the pole. That was just the equipment. And I'm sorry, I don't have my exact numbers, but it's right at $22,000. If the council remembers, the discussion about this thing is, there's a grant out there, state will pay up to $10,000 half if you do something. So if it costs us 22, state will pay 10. We're still going to be liable for around $12,000 if we move forward with this thing. We're going to have a decision tonight as to what the council chooses to do with this. So, because Dave said he's run out of time, and if we're not going to do it, they got to pass this on to somebody else. We had made, Ralph, I think we'd said something to you to check with the fire department, see if they was interested in any type of commitment to this other than allowing us to set the pole up there. I know we talked with CJ down at the campground, told Chris last week that he was still interested in donating something, but he didn't give us a number as to what that amount is. So I really don't know. Did the fire department have?
They have no number either. They offered the facility amount to put the pole there,
Yeah.
but no dollar amount. And I can't speculate what the dollar amount
Right.
would be, you know.
So,
I'm not in that position. to do
What
that.
about installment payments or, you know?
well, I think the way
They
this,
go that way?
I think the way this works, if memory serves me, is you got to pay this up front, and then you got to wait for the state to reimburse
I'm
you.
pretty sure that's what you.
So, having said that, I don't know where we stand on the budget for a $22,000 siren.
I don't think we had that much at the last meeting. We had 18 as far as contingency funds. I don't know if more money has come in than expected because I didn't really read your amended certificates.
We under budgeted for the income tax because we didn't have a full year. So we do have, that's what that one was for, budgeting a little bit more.
Right.
I'm not real sure how long you have to wait for them to get their part back to us either.
I do not have the answer to that.
This isn't a guaranteed thing that we're gonna get it anyway.
Correct. That is
You
also
know,
correct.
But you
yes.
just gotta submit
You
your
just submit
paperwork
it.
and go from there. And you won't know till next spring.
But we
spend the money.
We still have to be able to.
If we apply and
We
don't
still
get
have
it,
to
can
be
we
able to
back
say we're
out
gonna
of
put
it?
it up.
I do not know.
We don't get what, the grant?
Yeah,
Well, we don't get, it should be, it's probably just contingent on us being able to get that grant money, isn't it, or not?
I think it would be contingent on the fact that we get selected to apply for the grant. If we're selected at that point, then I think we're obligated
Yes.
to do it.
But if we're not selected, we're not obligated.
We're not obligated, but if we are, if we do get selected,
So you don't have to.
we
Yeah.
will be obligated to come up with the money.
And it would be more than the 12,000, because we don't have a pole, the cost of setting the pole and getting that.
Yes, it would be more than that. It would be, you'd have to pay for all of it up front and then
Yes.
wait for your reimbursement. I do not know when that reimbursement takes place. Now, as far as the poll, I think we could probably, I think DPNL would work with us on a poll. I think there's such a thing, but I'm
Yeah.
assuming, I don't know, that's
Yeah, I
just,
know. That's true.
that's what I'm saying, I don't know. I guess right now is, what I'm asking is council's wish, and what council wishes to do on this matter, or so we can tell Dave one way or the other what we're gonna do. It's gonna be a pretty tight squeeze, but.
My personal opinion is if we could have got it done for 10,000, so it was 50%, I kind of would have been for it, but I don't know if it's necessary to spend all that money with the weather and the internet, and everybody pretty much has radios. You know when something's going down. And if we get this thing and it goes off once a month just to test it, people aren't going to pay attention to it when we really need it. That's just my opinion. And I don't think it's a good value for our dollar. I'd really have our streets fixed.
Am I correct that the one we have here now, although we have to manually activate it, is the best location for the trailer park and for the campground?
This one here now probably needs to go over a year higher than what it is.
Okay.
And we could have this one here, we could do that one here for about $3,000 versus another one on the pole. So we could upgrade this one. I mean, we've checked into the fact that we could upgrade this one to go off on a single.
Okay,
The
so
one that we have for
except
far
where
less
they can
money.
Trip it
Yes.
upon the issuance of weather thing or whatever.
Yeah, it's a matter of about $3,000 you could have this one
Updated.
where they could set it off a single from the sheriff's department. So in that regards,
I'd say go, sorry.
I was just gonna say, I thought it was good we did our homework and checked into it,
Yeah.
but I like the idea of the $3,000.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, I'm just thinking that it's less likely that people camping are going to be, I mean, maybe they'd be more at risk than
Everybody's got their
others.
phone. and you
they will
check it.
tell you that the most effective thing for citizens to have is a weather
Weather
radio
radio.
in their home. It's far more effective than one of these because they tell you these are pretty much an outdoor siren. If you're inside the house, you're most likely not to hear it. So,
I'd rather go with $3,000, fix the old one up, and maybe later on, if we ever get any extra money, go with that.
that's fine. All we need is
That's just my
direction
opinion.
from
I
council.
agree with you, Dale, due to the consideration of the amount of money,
Yeah.
we don't really know where we're at.
Mhm.
I've always pushed for this, I've always liked to see the siren put in town. I think it's a security issue. But at the same time, if you don't have the money and you're not sure about it, do with what you got.
Right.
And we've got this, we can upgrade it, move on. Later on, this is gonna come back around
Yeah.
again. This ain't gonna be the only time.
Hopefully.
Can we fund the grant for the upgrade? Or does it have to be a whole new?
I can't answer that.
I think it has to be,
I think
It
it's all
Probably
new.
does, but I just
It's all
asked.
new, Kathy, I think
the
it's
way I
all new.
understand it, has to be a
Yeah,
big issue.
that's the way I understand it also has to be too, so.
Right.
So then it's the majority of the council wishes not to do anything with this and to tell David that, go ahead and move it to someone else.
Yes, I would say so.
That's fine.
Thank
We
you.
need to vote on that.
I will need, that as a motion, yes, please.
I'm making a motion. We go
Second.
with $3,000 and
Well,
the upgrade.
No, don't go
Let's
that.
not go that route yet. Let's just make
Oh,
a motion to give this back to Dave,
Okay.
to not move forward with the early warning siren system.
Okay.
At this time.
Okay. That's a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
And I apologize, but I do need to leave. I've got another obligation, so I didn't realize. Sorry.
Okay, Joe.
She's having so much fun.
I know, it's-
The time flew by.
Put your $10 in the pot for the coffee. Okay, employees handbook, Kathy has passed out from everyone some changes, just read that over.
That section 3 has been clarified a little bit better. Joe and I talked about that when we met down here with it just came up.
Well, there again, like I say, she's passed out some changes, everyone please review that for,
I will tell you that I have, in fixing this, I bumped, keep both pages. There's a little section A under holiday pay that's not on this revised sheet that should be. So hold on to those pages until we decide what we want to do. I really would appreciate it if everybody would take a good look at this, highlight what you have questions on or don't think is right, or is it going to work? I'm pretty tired of looking at it.
But it's something I think that we need to get right.
Well, yes, I agree with that, I do.
And I think that if we have it in place by the first of the year, we'll be doing good.
Well, I think that's fine, but
I don't want to rush into this, because I know a lot of people's got a lot of questions about it. And I know Kevin, he's not here tonight, but he's even got some changes, more changes that he would like to see. So, you know,
there again, if everyone will please read this and be prepared for any questions. And we will table this until next meeting for further discussion. All right, under old business, garage and yard sale ordinance. I'm sorry, my mind blank. We had some discussion.
Part of
last week, right?
part of our zoning ordinance deals with yard sales, garage sales, that type of thing. It limits the number you can have, and the duration. They can only run for 3 days, I think it is, and you can only have 2 a month. But the question that was really, our ordinance now calls for a permit and $1 for the permit. And we wondered if we're not going to enforce that, and I'm not advocating either way, I'm just saying, if we're not going to enforce it, we should really amend it.
is this under our new zoning law?
Yes, it is.
I apologize, I have not
That's
looked at this
fine.
yet, so
But that is what we had gotten into the discussion about.
thank you for that. My memory slipped me on that, so. But if everyone will please make an effort to look at that in the new zoning book, and we'll table that for further discussion too. I don't think that's an emergency situation at the moment. New business, we have village insurance renewal from PEP. It went up, our bill went up $99 increase in 2014. Full payment will be $18,886. If you make a one-time, full-time payment, you will save a $422.59 interest charge. Otherwise, they need a down payment of $3,777.20 and a monthly payment of $422.59. So what is council's wishes on this, whether to do a down payment and monthly payments or to pay in full?
What we've been doing.
To renew.
I think we paid it all last year.
Last year, we did pay it all. The time before that, it's always been financed.
Yeah, because of lack of money.
Yeah.
It made it easier to be able to go make the payments as you go along.
Well, again, do we have the money to pay them in full?
My recommendation is to finance it.
Okay.
I would
You're only
agree-
saving
I would agree-
$422.
I would agree with that scenario, simply the fact you're only saving $400, and we don't know what could come down the pike at us.
I think that it got us in trouble last year because of some.
And I think also with BPA, because they pay a portion of it, and I think it kind of got them a little bit in trouble last year, so, yeah.
I make a motion that we do the installment payments.
Is there a second? Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
And I will need a motion to forego the 3 reading on this and pass this emergency as it is due, correct?
Yes.
I move that we forego the 3 reading rule and pass this as an emergency due to
Right.
time constraints.
Second, excuse me,
Roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Bill, Mary Jane.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Next is the taxes on the old school building. We did go to the auditor, we asked him to forgive the rehab file that the building is now belong to us. We asked them to, or NEMA asked them to forgive the taxes owed on it like they did on this property out here, but the auditor said because it was a donation to us, that they would not forgive the taxes owed on the building. So the taxes owed on that is $3,208.31. So I would need a motion from the council to pay this taxes on the property. And then after that, we're done because it falls under tax exempt. This is just what was owed on it when Mr. McMahon donated it back to us.
Is there a portion of that that comes back to us?
Probably.
It's broke down on the
Yeah,
sheet.
we have tax bills someplace. A lot of it's school tax.
Yeah, county's $42, school district's $127, JDS district is $13.28, township is $2.11, municipality $46.
It's, I beg your pardon.
$46.91.
Is that per tax, per year?
It just gives the distribution.
Okay, but that's not going
That's
to
all.
come over to $3,000. So I'm saying if a little more than that is what we're going to get back. Depends on how many years this is and whatever else.
When I had asked her if any of this was coming back to us, her answer was no.
It should, municipality, wouldn't that be us?
This is the taxes that
You allow.
he left owing this year's taxes on the building. So it says here that the municipality is going to get $46, 91 cents, what it says.
Do they want all of that at one time, or can we split that up?
Usually, we could not even take ownership without paying us first,
Okay.
but they let me go ahead and file it this time. First.
We knew this going into this was a
Yeah.
possibility.
Yes.
We're getting this problem.
We got the building at 10 acres for $3,200. I don't see a lot of discussion here. So
I make a motion that we pay the $3,208.31 in back taxes.
I'll second that motion.
roll call, please.
Neil,
Yes.
Mary Jane,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Bill.
All right. Anyone have anything else they want to bring up?
I do want to say thank you to the sponsors of the fireworks. They were very nice. Is there any way we can send as a council on behalf of the village, thank yous to all those people that helped sponsor the fireworks. I don't know if we've done that in the past, but I think it's be worth the effort.
Sounds like an appropriate thing to me. So,
Who do we send it to?
Well, the businesses and to the park and to
I don't know.
the
what
Red
they're
Front.
doing.
I think that it was Natural Springs, Wallace, Red Technology, Natural Springs, and the Red Front. I think it was the 5 that was on the sign. I don't know
And the
who else.
chamber.
And
Right.
and the chamber. Those are the 5 that was on the sign. I don't know of anyone else that
I'm sorry,
participated.
I'm missing somebody. The Red Front, Rim, Wallace, Natural Springs, the chamber, and the park, right?
Yes. Well, Natural Springs is the parks.
Well, that's 5. Is that right?
I think that's correct. I think that's what was on the sign. Natural Springs,
I'll
Wallace,
talk to the ready to
Yeah.
see.
Natural Springs, Wallace, Red Technology, Natural Springs, Red Front. Yeah, I mean, there's 5 on there. There could, and there might be somebody else, I don't know.
I'll call them.
You need to ask Steve Adams who it was as far as that goes. And,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, there might have been some other people, I don't know, I just going about what was on the sign up there.
I just think that would be a good thing to do. That was very nice. And you know, it's just a little bit nicer every year.
Yes, it is. I didn't get to see much of it, but I heard a lot of it. It sounded pretty good.
It looked good.
There's a business card up there from Robert Duncan, somewhere up there. That is requesting, the minutes for the meetings. So I thought maybe you might want to mention
The
that.
news, is this something new?
Yes, yes.
It's going to be a local publication or what?
He is, yes, requesting that we send the council and the BPA minutes, and he will put those in the news.
So,
He's supposed to furnish his own envelopes and stamps.
I'm emailing them.
Oh, okay.
so
Just like I have to show.
is this going to be someone taking up the, like the New Paris News and
All he said was he's wanting to get it started, and could I send him the one for June, which I did. It wasn't anything set in stone.
Anybody's
Get it
allowed
started.
to do it, though, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If there's any cost, they're supposed to pay it, but if you're emailing, there's no cost.
This is a surprise. Haven't a clue.
Well, it says our treasurer Ralph. Is that a surprise to you, too?
Surprises me.
Mr. Carlotti, do you have anything?
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, Council, I'd like to mention that bagged up fire hydrant down at the cemetery. Been leaning for several months. I've been wondering why it hasn't been fixed and why it's now bagged. When are you going to start flushing out the hydrants?
Fire department flushes the hydrants, and as far as fixing the hydrants, and we'll have to see what the BPA is doing about that. I know BPA has been very busy with other obligations at the moment, so I'm assuming that's why they put the bag over it.
And I have one other itty-bitty question. You know, I hate to say anything, but get a lot of SMVs running around here.
Any what?
SMVs, golf carts.
Oh, yeah.
Slow-moving vehicles. And I'm wondering if these things are insured, if these kids are of legal age that are driving them, and what's our policy on it in the village? Last I heard, it was started because they went from National Springs to Chambers, now you got a sidewalk there. And they're using these things like POVs.
That was brought up last year, Chief Driver explained it, and I probably didn't get it correct. Maybe Mr. Hoover can answer that question, but as long as they have a,
Slow-moving sign on it.
yeah, they're allowed to be on the
There's no
street.
ordinance against it at this time, as long as they have a slow-moving vehicle sign on it.
And
Have you
no-
ever heard?
16 years of age.
16 years of
Oh.
age, proper ID, driver's
Yeah.
license.
They have to be what?
16.
Have to be 16 with
We've got some driving 8, 13 or younger on them things.
Well, we'll just have to watch for that.
I
Yeah.
mean, I hate to start taking pictures, you know.
It's kind of like if you stop with POV, as you put it, you have to have a problem with cause and stop. And we can't stop because they look like they're 13 or, you know, it's possible.
Now, on the new sidewalk, if it continues to be a problem, we may have to post a sign up there to keep them them off that new sidewalk up there. I have been told, I have not seen, but I have been told that they're taking the golf carts down the new sidewalk.
Oh, down the
Oh,
sidewalk.
really?
I have not seen it, but I've heard it, so I don't know if it continues to be a problem, or if we notice it being a problem, then we will address it.
In
There's a lot of
regards,
people parking on the sidewalks too.
Phil, in regards to the fire hydrant that you mentioned about being back over, that was as my per request with the district fire district, because that fire hydrant is out of service, it's broken, and the village BPA will fix it as
They
soon
were
as they
down
can.
there.
The state requires us to cover those up when they're out of service like that, so they can't be mistaken for an operative fire hydrant in case there's an emergency. That's why the bag's there.
See, that's why I'm asking council, they want to follow the route.
Pardon?
I want to follow the route Douglas with this. That's why I'm asking the council.
Yeah, well, I'm on the same district as Ralph Douglas is on the fire district.
Yes, sir.
And at the last meeting we had, we were made aware of the fact that it was broken. It was tried to be used to fill a tanker from a outside fire department, and it wouldn't work. And I contacted Jeff, and the state requires you to cover those up if they're out of service, which we did.
Does that
And it will
affect the
remain
water?
out of service until it can be repaired by the
I
BPA.
understand that. Does that affect any water distribution on the line?
No,
With that shut off there?
no,
All right, thank you.
shouldn't
I know
affect
Jeff's
it.
been down there
Take
with
that
that.
back to my committee.
Went by it all day.
Everything's okay. I mean, it's just inoperable. It won't spin to open up the valve.
Got it.
It's not closed off. The water's flowing through it just like it would any other time. It's just you can't open it up to draw water from it.
So, back to my other question. They don't have to have insurance to run their golf carts?
Not to my knowledge.
No homeowners insurance or nothing?
My knowledge, I don't know. I mean, if they get out here and have a wreck, I don't know how that works.
I came from Naples,
Well,
Florida.
Excuse me?
It's a little cloudy, there's, I'm not sure if it's a requirement, but from what she just told me, they're supposed to have some sort of liability insurance on their, I believe it's their auto insurance, and it should be covered under their policy with them.
But there again, you can't stop just to check insurance, right?
We can't even technically enforce insurance, that's a state issue.
Right. The reason I brought it up is when I lived in Naples, these people use these golf carts for these first and second vehicles. They have an insured licensed driver's license. That's another reason I'm asking, that's all.
Yeah.
I mean, I have nothing against it, I'm so used to it in Florida, or when I
Yeah.
was in Florida.
Well, I like to say that there's no ordinance against it as long as they get the slow moving sign on it, and if there is an ongoing issue, I'm sure the police department will pay attention to what they have to do.
All right, thank you.
All right, where will this go? Before we adjourn, I have one other thing, and this concerns me. I will bring it to the council's attention in April, sometime in April, latter part of April. I had Billy come down and fill some potholes in the alley behind the red front. While Billy was there, I had some potholes on my lot. And I told Billy at the time, I said, Billy, I said, I'd like to purchase some coal patch to fill in these holes in my lot. I will pay the village for it, which I did. I was turned in, the sheriff come to me here a while back and said he had a report that I was misusing village's material. I was, the person that turned me in thought that I was stealing from the village. So, to clear this matter up, I used about 300 pound coal patch. Coal patch costs about $150 a ton. So I had roughly used about $30 to $35 for the coal patch. I probably should have not. It was a convenience thing for me, and I apologize, but I wrote a check to the village for $100, twice the amount that I've used. Now, there seems to be some discussion from the sheriff's department. Like I say, I was accused of wrongdoing. I probably wasn't the best thing to do, but I did not take anything from this village, nor have I ever taken anything from this village, and I did pay for it. I did write a check, just to make council aware of the fact that it has been brought up. So,
Can there be a conflict of interest here?
Well,
By
it's,
using the employee
I-
and
I-
the city's equipment?
I probably was not a wise choice of my part, and will take place again. The truck was there, Billy was there, but I actually did it. He did not do it. I took it, shoveled it, threw it in the holes, and then I paid for it. It was a matter of convenience for me. It probably was the best thing I ever done, just making council aware of the fact that I did it, and that I did pay for it, and that it won't take place again. So I don't know what the sheriffs and the prosecutor would like to do about it, but we'll see what they, just bring it to the village's attention that it took place, and that we had a concerned citizen thought that I was being inappropriate. So
It wouldn't be cost effective for the prosecutor to do anything.
it's beyond my control, Mr. Carlotti.
I know.
I'm stating the fact of what took
I know it
place.
can't be that stupid.
I do not know, Mr. Carlotti. I'm simply making council aware of the fact that it took place, and I probably should have used better judgment than what I did, but I thought by paying twice the amount of money for it, I was actually doing, the village could go buy another truckload for what I give them for their little bit I use, but being in my position, it was probably not a wise thing to do.
yeah, none of us are supposed to do that, but
So,
it happened.
he was there, it was on the spur of the moment, it took place, and I paid for it. I apologize to council and to the village. It will take place again, but I did pay for it, so just to let you know, aware of the fact that it took place.
I was actually sticking up for you.
Thank you.
I know I don't shock you.
Next meeting will be August 4th, 2014 at 7 PM. If nobody has anything else, I need a motion to adjourn.
So,